Okay, so a few steps in the 7, it should seem pretty familiar to you, but negative 2, 5 is on the terminal side of an angle in standard position. So if I plot this point, that's supposed to be the terminal side of an angle in standard position.
What's terminal?
Terminal is the side that moves. So like if you're talking about 30 degrees, the terminal side's right here. If you're talking about 90 degrees, it's right here. The standard side, standard position, one side's always here. The terminal side moves depending on how big the angle is. Okay, and then from this we should be able to give all 6 trig functions of this angle. So if we're answering a bunch of trig stuff, and trig is the study of triangles, and we have only done right triangle trig, then you need a right triangle in here. So take this point, draw it to the x-axis to make your reference triangle. And knowing this point, you should know 2 links. We're going left 2 and up 5. So we can do Pythagorean theorem to find the other side. It should be the square root of 29. And now always look from this angle down here by the origin unless you're told differently. So sine opposite over hypotenuse and rationalize. Cosine adjacent over hypotenuse and rationalize. And tangent opposite over adjacent. And then one other tip I'd give you, which again is optional because you shouldn't need to do this, but you guys should know that all students take calculus. So the fact that this point is in quadrant 2 should tell you the only answers that are supposed to be positive are sine and its reciprocal. Sine's positive, its reciprocal's positive, as they should be. All 4 of the others should be negative. And if they're not negative, then you forgot something. A very common mistake here is like when you guys do this, that 2, there's a big difference between a 2 and a negative 2. This is negative 2 because it's in quadrant 2. So that's how these end up being negative 2. So that quick little check of all students take calculus will help you at least make sure your signs are correct.